Okay, we're live.
Danny McDevitt. Val Heffelfinger. I'm Dickie, and it's Grim After Dark.
Welcome to Grim After Dark, Warhammer 40,000's only late night show for some reason. My name is John, and I'm here to misinform and entertain as we talk about the goings on over the last week in the world of Warhammer. This week, Games Workshop had its World Championships of Warhammer Wrestling 2 in Atlanta. We talk down the biggest reveals from the weekend's big preview, and we check our team's pricing knowledge in WCW Price is Right. But before we can get started, let's meet the team. First up, he's the co-host with the co-most. He's our competitive 40K champion all the way from Moscow, Idaho. It's Danny McDevitt.
Hey.
Shit, go back.
Oh.
First up, from the front lines of gaming, he brings you the signals behind the noise. He's Kicker's executive assistant and my primary love interest. It signals from the front lines, Seth Oster.
For legal purposes tonight, I do have to go by meth roster for the
He
evening.
does have to go with meth, but he's
Yes.
also the beautiful face of everything square-based. He's a fan of everything fantasy and a casual 40K enjoyer. It's Val Heffelfinger. And finally, he's the man behind the curtain. He puts the couch in Canada. It's superstar producer, Tech Priest Dickie.
Hey, everybody.
He's here too.
Oh, thank God the music stopped.
Just like
Yeah, it
old
is.
times.
Just like it stops. I'd cut out the whole part of the start, but before we go on, if you enjoy what you see or what you listen to, that you can support us by liking or subscribing wherever it's going to let you. If you're able to throw a couple dollars our way by becoming a member on YouTube or super chatting the answer to this question, or even just regular commenting, because I want to know what should Seth's fake name be? Because Meth Moister is not good. I'm just going to say that off the top of my head.
Wouldn't
Wouldn't it be-
roll off the tongue well?
Would it be like
No.
Oath?
No.
Oath Sester?
I'll have you know
That's
that
a
that was
lot
a very
barbaric.
good barbarian character in early D&D.
Oath.
Beautiful. Well, first up, he's not here, but I wanted to bring it up anyway because it proves my point. It's our comment of the week, brought to you by our friends at Frontline Gaming. Staff, please feel free to take notes on this, show how terrible our viewership is. It's brought to you by our friends at Frontline Gaming, open 24/7 at frontlinegaming.org, and all your GW product is available at a discounted price, or better yet, you don't want to paint your bases? Don't do it. They have pre-painted ones, apparently. I saw a TikTok. Anyway, this week it's all about Danny. And this comment here, it says, it sounds so wrong pronounced right, which, guys, I think goes to last week when I pronounced Moscow, Idaho in the correct way.
That is true.
Yeah, which I want to point out, just subjective truth. Just keep on repeating things and people will believe you. And I just kind of go with it.
I could dig it.
It's going to leave awkward silence. That's all I'm doing.
I know. Where's the cricket sound when you need it?
I like Idaho.
Idaho.
I was upset when you dropped our only joke.
It's a good joke. It's a good joke as I continue to try and find the there we go. Just
I don't know if good is the right word.
we have Nurgle Matt and Seth. Your name should be Thaz Retso, which just sounds like a really shitty background Star Wars character.
I mean, Disney is scraping the bottom lately, so I could believe it.
This is one of the multicolored moped gang in Boba Fett. It's Thaz Retso. And I would believe that, even though I know their names.
It's the fedora that gives
You
it
know
away.
their names.
Anyway, that's enough terrible fun and awkward silences. Let's go on to some very loud state of play.
God.
I told you it was loud, Seth. Don't wow in my ear. Welcome to State of Play. This is the segment where we catch up with what we've been up to in Warhammer in the last week. And this week, WCW returned to Atlanta. And no, I'm not talking about Hulk Hogan and the NWO, brother. We're talking about the World Championships of Warhammer. The World Championships of Warhammer took place last weekend. And Seth, Val, I would like you to take this opportunity, actually, Val in particular, take this opportunity to reverse your besmirchment of this man. That would be Mikey from Hellstorm Wargaming, who attended. You said he only got to attend because he won a GT when all of the good players were out of the country.
I said that.
Or
Yes.
Danny. We're gonna.
One of you said it.
One of you
I
said
mean, that
it.
seems
wasn't
like
me.
very.
I didn't say
That
that.
seems like very specific knowledge that I certainly don't have. I'm happy that he was allowed to leave his flat. I just feel like all he does is just order DoorDash to his place and cower in his apartment, 3D printing things and occasionally respond to my messages. How'd he do?
Well, it's almost like you saw the slideshow when we move on here. He did tweet out that he is 0-1-4 at the World Championships.
Swing and a miss.
It is going well. I said this to Dickie pre-show, and he told me to write it down, so I'm going to go out here. I love that he's wearing the firstborn, like a shirt promoting firstborn Space Marines. And I said his performance was a tactical Marine in a world of intercessors. I personally, of course, am a servitor in a world of tactical Space Marines. So all I can do is sit from very far away and throw stones.
Mhm.
But Seth, you were there this weekend.
I was there in person.
It was
wasn't
a
even
Shark
good enough
Tank.
to get an invite to play. In the champs. So hats off to Mikey. Literally, good job there,
Yeah,
Mikey.
good for him.
Is that
but
why
he
you
did have a
wore a
smile
hat
on his
today?
face all weekend. We hugged it out. He was
Let's
having a good time.
Let's go back a picture, Dickie.
Mhm.
So were you smiling all weekend? You said?
Was that his smile?
That,
Does it look
that's-
like
I
that?
think that's a stock photo. I don't remember him wearing that shirt. So I think maybe he pulled one from his library of images that he keeps. Like any good content producer, they keep a library of images of themselves.
That's why we're terrible content producers,
Yeah,
because
we're
we
bad.
don't have a library of
I
images.
actually
I'm
recently found
95%
about this.
certain that Dickie has a folder somewhere of Seth faces.
Yeah, I do.
Well, I just have the one that I use.
It's a very special folder.
On the Discord.
Yeah.
He carries
I
it with him
changed
into
it
the
up for him
bathroom
tonight.
every day.
But
Oh.
World Championships of Warhammer, they've been building up to this all year in the very original and not at all borrowed from Roald Dahl golden ticket to earn your place in. Some of the best players, in fact, the best players in the world, all kind of going to all the events they can to qualify for this.
They didn't have to eat chocolate bars to get their tickets.
Well, they didn't have to; they chose to.
Damn, I was going about this. The
Imagine if you
wrong
had to
way.
buy a Games Workshop branded chocolate bar for your chance to go to the World. It would be like you'd go into such debt. It'd be like a $15 chocolate bar.
It comes in a box. It's just cocoa powder, some milk, or some butter. You're gonna make it yourself.
Oh no.
Good one.
Yeah. But yeah, what was the event like? How was the event?
No, it's a genuine laugh. I probably shouldn't say good one after your jokes. That kind of takes away
Yeah.
from them.
Really breaks the immersion, guys.
Yeah, and then,
It was a good time. Everyone seemed to be pretty positive. There definitely there was a moment. I since I wasn't playing, I had the opportunity to kind of feel the room while I was there, and
Did
there
you
was
get
definitely
Hold on a
consent?
second. Hold on. I missed this point here, Seth. I just need to interrupt. So you weren't actually invited. You just showed up. Did you wear
Yeah.
this costume?
No, not at all. They wouldn't have let me through the door. There was actually entertainingly enough, the floor above us in the hotel, like it was still like there was like multiple levels of conference areas. The floor above us was a very nice like education conference, and they definitely gave me dirty looks when I showed up in like shorts and a t-shirt trying to get to the gaming tournament. And then I saw I called a hefty man wearing a hoodie and a beanie, and I was like, "That's my people."
Follow
And I
him.
Followed him, and he led me to the Warhammer.
he is not going to an educational conference.
No, I was like, "That's my people," and so I followed him. And then like I think one night there was like an Indian like I don't know if it was like a ball or some sort of formal event. Again, very much clashing with the nerds downstairs.
Well, it was Diwali last week.
All right, well that might explain that. But
Seth's
anyway,
heard that
yeah.
word before.
Yeah. I mean, it was a good time, but yeah, I wasn't invited, but I did get to feel the vibe of the room, and there was definitely a lot of anxiety leading up to it. You could feel it in the room, and then there were definitely some downtrodden individuals after.
Really?
There were a lot of
People were
folks-
giving a shit.
Oh yeah, there were a
Yeah.
lot of folks that thought they were going to come in there, and this was their moment to show the world they were the dark horse, and
They weren't from Canada.
no, the Canada took like I think out of the 20 some players, they had 4 take a W on the first round.
Yeah,
it
it was
was
rough.
not a good day for
That was a
Canada.
rough
How many
day.
draws?
I don't know.
That's how
None.
success is measured in Canada.
I do
That's
know.
When the
not to stoke
Canadians
any
and
fires.
look, when a Canadian's in the United States and they hear the word draw, they just hide under a table. So like it's
fair enough. There was a notable draw between we'll call it some professional content creators, fellow creators. So yeah, there were draws at the event. There was a round, I think, where Mike got on the PA and said no draws allowed this round. Go to your tiebreakers, which I think if we remember correctly was
rock, paper,
scissors, and then followed that by a dice off.
Toss?
And then if that didn't work, you just went out in the parking lot and kicked each other in the nuts until someone fell down.
I was gonna say, why do you start at rock, paper, scissors when you just started a dice off? And then if you tie it, then you have to go to the worst and worst games.
Yeah, it gets worse as it goes. You really want to at that point just get out cleanly.
I wasn't there for the original decision to go with rock, paper, scissors. But I was there in Austin, I want to say it was, where I approached him and said, top table's about to tie, dude. And he was like, and they went to kill points, was the thing, but clearly completely had no idea, didn't even conceptualize the possibility of a tie at the time. So they've evolved a little bit.
False.
Yes, they have.
Wrong.
That's right in there. But they've built up to this event all year. It's been multiple articles, multiple community posts, multiple tournament promotions. Did the event live up to the hype that this was the World Championships of Warhammer? Also, by the way, as a wrestling fan, calling something WCW and then holding it in Atlanta is just chef's kiss, just perfect. Cross branding right there. You won't be buried in Google searches. But Seth, did it live up to the reputation that it tried to make for itself?
Yeah, I mean they definitely made a go of it. I would say they had some really top tier judges in play there. They had a very, we'll call it, varied mission packet. So they basically, I think, used all of the GW missions. It was in a very GW likes to have very nice hotels, nice locations. I wouldn't venture outside.
As long as it's a Hyatt.
It was. I think it was a Hyatt. Yeah, I think it's a Hyatt. Don't venture outside that particular Hyatt. That's what we learned out after finding several naked people in the street afterwards. And they were not
venture outside that Hyatt.
Yeah, they were not event attendees, to be clear. But no, they all joking aside, they did put on a quality event, and everything seemed to run pretty well. They have their quirks at GW events, and so it did run late one particular evening, well past the end time. But it was a good time. Mike was there. Mike was there doing his, hey, why don't you make a friend in the next few hours? The start of every round.
Handing out the bowl for everyone to put their car keys in. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he might have.
Sorry, just gonna pull this card out of my sleeve here real quick. It was hanging around for some reason. Any controversy coming from that event, Seth?
Oh, there was a few. I did hear some rumors of players maybe manipulating cards in their deck.
What?
Maybe trying to bottom deck a bad draw. Which made me really feel like I was suddenly in a Magic tournament.
No, Magic tournament would have floor rules, and the thing
that tipped me off though, Val, was the smell wasn't right. It didn't quite match the Magic smell.
Well, it's the ventilation that you get at a Hyatt.
Yes, that clearly. That must be why those particular venues are selected, because of their ventilation requirement.
What's the jacuzzi situation like?
Well, I will tell you, the jacuzzi situation in my room was quite cramped.
Room jacuzzi.
Yeah, it was quite cramped.
Seth's really more of a hot tub guy, less jacuzzi guy.
Like to spread out, get a little floating action there.
Sandwich in a hot tub.
There were some card shenanigans, floating around. There was, I think on the French stream there was some drama towards the end between Manny and John.
Whoa, wait, what? Drama appeared?
I know, it's crazy. The reality being that there actually was no drama. It was a simple mistake on John's part after like the 29th hour of 40K that man played. And then when he was informed that he misplayed, he politely conceded, almost entirely in keeping with the character of this man that we've known for years now, that when he's like, I am wrong, I am sorry.
Was it not later revealed that in fact he wasn't wrong and didn't misplay?
No, in fact it was actually he was definitely wrong.
Well, that's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the internet really would like to, as much as I've been called Benedict Arnold several times today by dear friends of mine for defending Manny.
Mhm.
But it was John who was wrong, and I'm sorry. And John admits that he was wrong, and it's not a big deal. But the
Awful,
internet would
awful
have you believe
convenient that he's not here to defend himself when you're calling him wrong.
I am happy to reappear on your at any time if you would like John Lennon and I to debate the subject.
No, dude, it's all good. To summon someone from the Art of War into this show, you just need to put a vague reference to them in the title, and they'll show up in chat and defend themselves. But not today.
Well, that's
we
not
didn't do
happening
that
tonight because they didn't win.
No, no, we did not. That's okay. But yeah, so do you feel that for next year's WCW, I'm trying to think, Slamboree, which is going to be what they call their second one, is there kind of more of a yearning for people to go to that, seeing how the first one came out? Do you have a lot of people who are like, yeah, I want to be the best in the world? Or do you see some people who maybe showed up and kind of got exposed a little bit for maybe not being as good as the best?
I definitely feel like there are some people that I wouldn't say humbled is the term, but had their eyes open to the wider world. And I'm definitely not talking about my local Atlanta friends. Definitely not talking about them at all. I did run a fantasy draft with some friends, and they drafted all Americans. I drafted one American.
Whoa, Seth, we have to interrupt you right here. A random thing has happened. We got a super chat. Bishop, there's better things you can do with $5, but we appreciate you.
Thank you, Bishop. Best spend money you're going to have all night. Incredible.
He said, and by the way, just if you're watching this live, I will interrupt anyone's conversation with a records crash sound effect. He said a local guy went 5-1 of the narrative worlds and made it into the Warhammer article about it. He is the Warhammer 40K. And that reminded me, Seth, it wasn't just the hardest GT ever in this. There was also a lame narrative component as well.
Yeah, I did participate in the narrative. I am a hardcore narrative player now.
Just filling out numbers?
Yeah. I mean, no, definitely not. I dreamed of being there and had the opportunity to go.
Question. How do you qualify for a narrative event?
You're right. A really solid power.
You pay money.
I think they also did give away some narrative tickets at some of the GW events.
Okay.
To various people, via various means, but yes, you could also just buy one.
Now,
what was your favorite named character that you came up with?
It was an orc. I played orcs, and it was Big Mech Bad Smasher, and he proceeded to live up to his name
and
absolutely suck in combat the entire week. So I that name prophesies how I should have not been using him.
See, this is the thing. You're just not very comfortable with the narrative meta. You can't give your guy a name like Bad Smasher and expect good things to happen.
I will say,
I learned that. Yeah.
Of my LVO journeys, I've had a mixture of the 40K friendly, which is like a more friendly event, and the competitive one, the friendly, much more cutthroat experience. It was insane.
The friendly was friendly is always that's funny to me.
The friendly, most events, if any event is labeled as a friendly, it's the people who won't make it out of the mid tables at the regular event, flexing their muscles. So I came third. Anyway.
Well, you didn't ask me what my record was at the narrative.
What was your record at the narrative?
I was 4-1.
Did you win? But narratively, you should be losing as an enemy of the Imperium because
4-1 and drop.
My faction won, John. And we definitely didn't turn into demon princes and run off.
Well, no, because you're a mushroom.
How many minimum wage employees were cosplaying and guiding the event?
I think you'll mean independent contractors. There's no
how many below minimum wage employees were cosplaying?
And to be fair, like those were the guys and gals that sold the event for me.
Yeah, they did it.
Oh yeah, like they were into it. They were having a good time. Val, as an orc player, you can sympathize. I have never been thanked for wogging loudly into someone's ear when they weren't paying attention until this past weekend.
I just drew blood from biting my lip.
Oh my god. Yeah. Cringe. I just imagine, Seth, you just like whining at the top of your lungs and the person coming around grabbing you softly by the shoulder and being like, thank you.
Yes.
That was not too far from the truth. There was like some location where there was like an orc. It was supposed to be like an orc, racetrack, but the orcs were all killed off by the guy in cosplay who was basically cosplaying a Catachin. And so when I was placed in the room, I was like, "Oh,
it was Chuck, wasn't it?
What?
It was Chuck, wasn't it?
It was not."
So
But I snuck around with my chopper up behind him, and I went, "Wah," like right in his ear, loudly and annoyingly. I was.
There's
really
no other way to wah.
Yeah.
Oh, so the cosplayer thanked you.
Yes, and then he
It's
came back
because
to
he
me,
was no longer the lamest person in the room.
and then I did it again with more orc players later, and he came back to me and said thank you because his boss was apparently like checking in on him, and he was excited to demonstrate to his boss that the people were into it.
Oh my god! I just
like
wanted
the
his
amount
boss.
of the amount of like unsolicited was is definitely a KPI in that scenario. He's totally getting an extra sandwich at lunch.
Imagine his boss being like, "I don't hear the whys. Why aren't your players engaged with you? They don't believe Chuck."
What would the Eldar sound be?
No,
Ugh.
that was the problem. So that was the problem we had as a group. So there was an Imperial like team, and there was like for the Emperor, and then there was like a Chaos team, and it was the character that was leading them looked very Khorne, so it was like blood for the blood god. And then we literally just kept having debates in Discord of what the war cry for the resistance would be, because we were just everything else mixed together. Orcs just won out through volume, I think.
Yep.
Number of players, just we were loud, and so it eventually I think became WoW.
That's sweet.
The Eldari war cry, by the way, is
Yeah. Yes, I
Okay.
agree.
Hey, but that wasn't all that went on at the weekend, Vals. I cut you off brutally, unless you want to throw in your point there.
Well, I know what prize support was. What did so for the actual championship? You are a Warhammer god. What did you get?
Hand job.
Beats me.
That's what I
I
said.
honestly don't know.
All right.
I think they had trophies. I know they had trophies. I saw them. They look like the normal trophies.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess a digital code for every 40k codex that comes out.
In 9th edition.
Maybe
ninth
they'll
edition.
make you a playtester.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Oh.
Maybe.
They'll give you a job.
Unpaid internship.
Oh, sorry. It's correction. Yes, volunteered position.
Is this for college credit? No. But the World Championships of Warhammer and the World Narratives of Warhammer were not the only things that happened this weekend, as we did get another GW massive preview with a whole host of things. And Val, I even threw some old world in here for you. Starting off, we
cool.
got...
Is Val turning on Monday Night Football?
No, but good point. Shit,
Yeah.
Eagles.
We're not supposed to mention that because otherwise he loses focus.
Yeah, you don't say that. He said
Danny's been giving me notes on how to distract Val all night.
Starting off with these guys here, we have a Mark 6 assault squad for the Horus Heresy. Guys, I'm going to ask you this in all seriousness. It's a beautiful model, but do we still care about Horus Heresy?
I mean, I care about it more than I care about Old World.
It's fair.
Oh.
I will
That
say
makes you.
seeing these models was a little underwhelming because every time I look at them, I just see baby Marines.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you'd have showed me this, I couldn't have told you it was the thing that was new. I just probably would have assumed it was
I
already
thought it was
out.
out already when they.
He's mad at his dad.
That's the entire
Daddy
game.
doesn't love me.
That's the entire Heresy game.
It's
Epic
a 40K
Imperial.
game with daddy issues. Got it.
That's true. But that wasn't the only Horus Heresy plastic kit that came out. There was a Mark 6 helmet that came out and was shown off on this next slide here.
Oh wow.
Yeah, there was like an original Heresy helmet, which belongs to the base of this questionable model, which is the new Asmodai.
Oh shit!
Which is
Look at that
more
guy.
40k adjacent. Seth, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Me for one, that smoke looks stupid. Guys, what are your takes?
I don't think it looks stupid. I don't know. I actually legitimately didn't click on these parts of the previews, so this is all going to be a live react for me. I think this is a smash. I think he looks great. Although
It is based.
that Space Marine helmet looks
EPA needs to
tiny.
know this man's location.
Mm-hmm. This is based on the classic piece of artwork that shows Asmodai, which is why the smoke is there. I will say I thought the smoke looks awful, but you can make it without smoke.
Exactly. They knew what they did. They knew they were like, that's a choice. Like when the sculptor was like, and I'm gonna do this, I'm like, that's a choice. Could you maybe do a second backpack with without that. Just
But if you do buy this model and you don't put the smoke on, and I know you won't comp players because you don't want to paint it, send me the smoke so my Lord Necron can be smoking a cigar at the end of the battlefield. And just have
John wants all of your competitive smoke, folks.
all of the competitive smoke.
What
There we go.
happened to the almost all like what happened to like one character in every army smoking a cigar? That was a thing for a long time in Warhammer.
That's what he's doing right there. He just has a mask on in front of it. All of the nicotine vapor is coming out of his power pack. So that's just hotboxing the
So
helmet.
this is just extreme vaping.
Yeah.
He's having a competitive vape off with the enemy.
Chasing them clouds, baby.
If you are a great hobby modeler, if you can make Asmodai make smoke rings with his vape juice, then that would be fantastic. And just, well, see, now all I see him is some kind of like douchey vapor. Where he's just
wait a minute. There it is. There it is.
Ugh. Here we go. And then Bishop coming in chat. Can't wait to use the assault squads as Primaris jump pack dudes. Probably you can because they've been slowly
tactical rocks.
Slowly, subtly upscaling.
Zoomer Asmodai.
And also it's a Zoomer Asmodai. It is because he's vaping the whole time. He wasn't the only Dork Angel that came through though, as we got brand new low resolution because it was a screenshot Deathwing Knights. Which are new upscale Terminators with fancy swords, and then on this next slide here with fancier hoods and maces.
Is this the Terminator that they needed to revisit already? Like, I feel like that kit's already sick.
To be fair, the next codex for Space Marines is Dark Angels at Christmas time or just after Christmas, so they do need a couple kits for that.
I guess.
Need to make them special.
Hold on, there's a Dark Angels codex again?
Oh yeah, that's going to be coming soon.
Are you telling me that they must release multiple kits when they release the codex?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I think that there's a certain Imperial faction coming out soon that has questions.
Because for the Necrons, you had, and we'll get to this, but a new Oricon. We have a new Stormlord. There's a couple other. There's a cool Translocator Shroud Overlord. A lot of cool Necron kits. Deathwing Knights are coming with 2 different kinds in one box. You have a new Asmodai. I would assume you would get a new whatever their librarian is called as well coming soon. But Stiltwanker is more than enough.
Yeah, Stilt McGee. I mean, come on.
For
one of the iconic model in the 40K
He's the
range.
height of 2 models. Why would you need more?
I mean, you were the one that said that we need multiple models for release. Are we saying each leg is its own model?
It is.
Wait a minute.
It's certainly going to be in multiple pieces. I can tell you that much.
Is the faction a Space Marine faction?
I mean,
that's
Necron's famously not.
Necron's famously not, but you know, like you can throw them a few robot bones every now and again. You know, but like
minimum, minimum to get a model.
So I don't know. I just hope. So do we think that this glut of new Terminators means that when Grey Knight's number is called in this edition, we will see new Grey Knights?
Interesting thought.
I hear they're legending the Grey Knights.
Oh, that's fair. As they should. They don't fit the lore. But yeah, so some great Dark Age releases coming. Honestly, like the hooded helmets are great. The maces look fantastic. The swords are chunky. I think Danny said in one of our chats, Blade Guard Terminators was how he put it. Yeah, and I'm here for it.
Yeah.
But then again, I know a lot of people care about Dark Angels. But moving on, there was more than just Space Marines previewed, as we see here. Kind of moving on to, oh wait, sorry, this was where I spent $50 on eBay less than a month ago for a new one, Clamshell Oric the Diviner.
Right.
Let's get rid of that one there. Move on to this guy who is the actual brand new Oric the Diviner.
Looks like you're spending more money, baby.
That's another. Looks like there's another $50 coming your way.
Yeah, I mean, could be. We'll talk about it more next week. But brand new Necron character model to come with the codex that is on its way. Guys, what are your thoughts on this update of Oric the Diviner? To me, he looks like he's really, really tall.
He's jumping off a rock there, but
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that looks like a 40mm base.
Now, he's got this friggin' scorpion tail thing. Sure. Why does he still need the tactical rock? Like
Well,
that's just flagrant use of a tactical rock. Like I don't think he needs one. He could just be standing on his whippy tail.
I would imagine if maybe when you're building it, again, I don't know, but he's really freaking fiddly without that rock. Would be my guess.
No, I think that's wrong, John. I think clearly the instructions that GW gives their sculptors is we would like this character on a tactical rock, and this sculptor included the tactical rock because it was part of his prompt.
Should
It
have
was
been
on the
skipped
brief. It was on the brief. Good points.
It's on the brief.
Yeah.
It's on the brief. But yeah, I would say
Style guide.
because it's really it looks anyway from this one angle that it would be really freaking fiddly if it wasn't for those two rocks down there. But
Well, there's no way to know until
there's no way to know until at least Saturday. But moving on, Age of Sigmar also got some stuff previewed, including this. This was shared by Suckhammer, by the way, on Twitter, who shared this part of the photo, who showed that the banner for the new Flesh Eater Quartz model was a little thumbs up.
Give it a thumbs up.
Skin flag with a thumbs up. Nice.
There's just a lot of questions because there's still bone structure in that hand.
Yeah.
Seth,
Maybe they kept the skeleton in the fist.
Seth, you've murdered a lot of things. At what stage would you have to make the decision to kind of keep the bones in there, to keep that thumbs up so rigid?
I mean, if you have to get the in this case the person to die in the position, so like when they get rigor mortis, it stays there. So that to me means that before they killed this guy, they were like, "Put your hand on a thumbs up."
You
Put
doing
your hand
okay?
on a thumbs up.
You doing okay, buddy?
Do it.
Or-
and then like okay, as soon as he did it, they're like, "All right, now we kill him."
Or Flesh Eater Quartz were present at the climactic scene of Terminator 2.
But then the rest of the skin would be destroyed
off at that point. I think on that hand, it was the robot hand that was
because it was just the hand that did the thumbs
It was
up.
a gloved fist.
I will say,
well, now I'm gonna have to go back and watch.
There's just it was a glove fist, but still, it was the only thing that was above the
Wasn't
lavender.
there like one hand he took the flesh off of and had to show
Yeah,
the
but that was you're right. It was that one because that was the one. Anyway, this is not a Terminator 2 podcast.
No,
Even though
It should be.
Falcon can turn this into whatever movie review he wants.
Even though
talk about Terminator
Pete,
2.
if you're watching Christmas time, let's talk Terminator 2. I just want to imagine it's the ghouls are just waiting around, looking around. It was like, guys, I found a guy with a thumbs up, and everyone goes crazy.
Rip his skin off.
I also want to see
Even
just
better.
please again, modelers, please cut the thumb part off, attach it to the middle finger, just so the flag.
Oh,
is
that's
flipping
gonna
people off
happen.
on the
All
way.
this is gonna happen constantly. What perhaps my least favorite like common conversion is like giving everyone who can give a middle finger giving the middle finger.
Some
Like
of us,
Eminem should not be a part of Warhammer.
some of us specifically bought Space Marine hands that had people flipping off, so they could like do that on their thing.
Well, you have
3D
no taste.
printing. It's a beautiful world.
Mhm.
That wasn't all for Flesh Eater Course. There was a
and
ton
this is
of
why, folks, I encourage you not to super chat to John since he has shown such mature decision making with his funds.
yeah, that is true.
$80 for a fine cast model is clearly a questionable choice.
That's true. If
Exactly.
you super chat me $100 right now, I will mail you Orican. Continental US only. Frontline shipping rules. And then a lot of other Flesh Eater Courts is an entire army refresh. We're not going to get into too much, but I want to point out this next guy here, who is their special character, who is, I
yeah.
think, the most beautiful model I've seen in a long time.
So
He's
good.
going to make an amazing demon prince for my World Eaters army. But yeah, guys, this dude, what's your thoughts on him? He's a named character. He has a
So
name.
sexy. He's on like a football
World
field of a
Eaters?
base too.
Mhm.
He's
gonna do
gorgeous,
some
man. Like
World
he's
Eaters?
stunning. The only problem is that I can't think of a good. So, what's cool about the from a old world perspective? What's cool about the entire new Flesh Eater Quartz range is that like anything that was like used to be in fantasy, they did make a model of. Like so you have the Vargolf and the ghouls, and the ghouls have 3 different arm like weapon choices. So they have just like their gribbly hands, which you could use in fantasy, and then they have some weapon choices. So I was like, cool, they're making it backwards compatible. However, this guy, there's nothing he really fits in for in like vampire counts, and it's too bad because he's the bomb and he would be so sick.
They continue to
Place
knock
to
it out of the park
madness.
with these models. Jesus.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's beautiful.
Mm.
Moving on to something, Val, that is very close to your heart. This is rectangular based,
Uh-huh.
but it is
Terrible photo.
this Camryn dude. Well, it's a GW classic. It's just a terrible photo of a gray bottle. Someone actually photoshopped the wings off of this and made it like a crocodile, and it looks much better.
It has
What
wings?
wings exactly? Like this photo's just the worst angle for this model. It's so cool. I think he's really great, but he does like when I first saw this picture, I was like, oh, that's kind of lame. But when you, see him from the side or any other angle, it's better.
There's
I was really impressed they managed to sculpt a model that looked like it was already 20 years old and out of production.
Oh, Seth, you dog. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like there's a wing right there.
Oh, sorry.
There's a wing.
The Howdah has got lots of cool bits and
Right
stuff
there.
on it.
Yeah, moving down to like our next slide here, it does have the Howdah, I think an alternate
Howdah.
one.
Howdah,
which has lots of
say
cool
it.
bits. But how are you feeling kind of about the Camry reveal?
What Camry reveal?
The two models they showed it off. I guess three with the variants.
I'm pretty sure it's all the same kit. Like the other guy is just another model you can make out of this kit, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, no, I mean this was cool. Honestly, like the thing that I cared about was revealed at the last one, which is that it's releasing in the beginning of next year, and after that, it's all window dressing. I'm no longer very disappointed. I thought this model was super cool. It also the biggest thing in this reveal was definitely the fact that the old Tomb King skeletons are coming back, which was a poorly kept secret. And now that is a model that should have been out of production 20 years ago. Yeah, so that's a bit of a bummer, but meh, people will still gobble it up. They'll hoover up that stuff.
They will do. And speaking about hoovering up things, they also previewed the next Kill Team squad, which is the Night Lord's Nemesis Claw.
This is interesting.
Which is a bunch of super cool looking Night Lords in low resolution. I do have on the next slide a slightly better picture of the captain, including his lovely little skin cloak. No thumbs up there. Big missed opportunity, I will have to say, when they have the technology available.
Well, Night Lords don't wait for their victims to pose.
That's fair. And then, Bishop, stop giving us money. We appreciate you. That's great. But he is giving big bone Pope vibes. I think he's referring, Val, to your crocodile over there.
Yeah.
Where he's on top of the world.
Can we make Val's new name Bone Pope?
I mean, we can do anything.
That was my
We
nickname in
won't,
high
but,
school. I can bring it back.
But the Night Lords right here, this is another Kill Team kit similar to kind of the Deathcore of Krieg and a couple of other ones we see where we have units coming through 40 Kill Team before kind of moving on to 40K. Seth, do you think that we're going to see more Night Lords or even kind of a Night Lord specific range in the future?
I don't know. They definitely have released some Kill Team things and eventually like rolled them into the main 40K line, but they haven't like rushed to do that. So I could see these just kind of being a thing. Like I don't know when in the docket CSM is supposed to get a codex.
It's funny you should say that because 2 slides down from here, Dickie, is the partial roadmap where Chaos Space Marines are going to be like spring. So spring we're going to have Custodes, Tau Empire, and Chaos Space Marines, and then summer we have Gene Stealer Cults, Serratus, and then Redacted.
I'm excited for Redacted.
Well, all I can say, again, from my orc perspective, is prepare to have your choices for whatever that squad represents in your Chaos Space Marine army to become extremely limited. Ergo, my commandos that suddenly had some very, very, very specific sets of war gear that they could take.
Yeah, so strange. So strange. Fully wholeheartedly back you up on that one. My question, is the Primarch a demon for those guys?
Conrad Kurz?
For Night Lords?
Yeah.
He's dead.
He's dead. So no, they will not get a standalone codex.
No, fair enough.
You must have a living Primarch.
You must have a
Yeah.
Primarch.
No, I think I feel like all of the like standalone ones, like especially for Chaos, it only makes sense that the Slanesh guys are next.
That's totally fair. What do you guys think Redacted is? Val, are you going to say it's going to be like Emperor's Children? Is it an existing army?
I mean, I wasn't thinking Emperor's Children, but that's the Slanesh one, right?
Yes.
In which case, yes, you're right. It's Emperor's Children or just more squats.
Seth,
Oh, more squads.
what is Redacted here?
Well, I think you're right, John. It's probably going to have to be something new, because why, like, if that was revealed to be like, Blood Angels, we'd be like, why the hell didn't you just
Yeah.
tell us it was going to be Blood Angels? Why did you got to hide it? So I think it's going to be something new.
They have done that before, though, if I recall correctly. Like when they were doing these roadmaps, I want to say it was at some point when I cared, because I remember I needed a redacted image, and I used their codex preview, and it was like if it was far enough in the distance, they would tell you there's a book coming, but not what it was. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
What aside from like, what could it be? Like, is there any faction that's not represented?
I
now?
have a theory.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Tech Priest Dickie checking in.
Yeah. Oh, this is apropos. Dark Mechanicum.
Ooh.
Oh, you don't like it?
I mean, Vashtor needs some boys.
Vashtor needs some bros.
he does. Vashtor does suck ass in regular CSM.
Really sucks so bad.
I think importantly, it's probably just going to be Space Marines 2.0.
Oh wow!
Come on.
Good point. Good point.
Imagine that.
That would be a year, like around a year since their last codex. So that would
It
put them on
would be
pace.
hilarious if just
Space
every
Marines-
summer it was a new Space Marine Codex.
I will point out, Space Marines have had 6 different rule sets in 6 years. So if you count the indexes,
That is about the time that Space Marine 2 comes out. Maybe it'll be the Codex will be
Oh.
Codex Space Marine 2.
Yes, they finally embraced the 2.
Oh, beautiful. Let's move on to a little around the net before we play some fun game.
Oh God.
Welcome to Around the Net, the part of the show where we dive deep into the dang drivel the internet provides. And this week, I don't have much to cover because we've been going for a while anyway. We're going to start with a little mini game. I want to call it Foiled Minis. There is an artist on Reddit who makes foil versions of Warhammer characters. And what I'm going to ask you, Val, Seth, Dickie, who are we looking at right here?
that's an ant.
What?
It is from the Warhammer 40,000 range, not the Lord of the Rings range.
I was gonna go Abaddon, but I don't see a sword.
Yeah, is that Terminator with lightning claws?
Gaskell?
Possibly. Dickie, if
Does
you
it
want to
have
move
a
on,
mustache?
you want to move on down to the next slide. It is oh God. Don't do that.
Oh my
Move
God, was
up,
that
move
Horus? That was Horus.
Move up. Okay.
Tinfoil Horus?
It was not
Ow.
tinfoil horse. Oh God, I'm on the wrong thing. It's all going wrong.
Why are we
Why
drawing?
are we
What's
drawing?
happening?
Why are we drawing?
He just when he panics, he draws
I
breath.
was told this would be a professional, respectful show.
It's this guy.
It's this
Oh,
guy.
Tyberos the Red Wake.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
why does he only have one set of claws? What?
Well, if you go back up, you'll see he actually has
they're
two. One is just retracted, much like
Oh.
Wolverine.
Is this like the restaurant that like puts your leftovers in the foil swan, but they're just trying to
know.
do 40K figs?
Oh, they
I
got to
don't.
do
I don't
that.
eat at restaurants that classy. Seth.
They got to do that at Bugman's. Is when you leave with your burger and fries, they'll bend
You're
it
welcome
into
for
some
that idea,
shape.
GW.
Yeah. That's
Well,
fantastic.
I've been going back and forth, and the resemblance is uncanny.
Uncanny. Speaking about uncanny, there's this next one here. Look at this beautiful thing. Check out one, and I hate to sound like not a modern man, but check out the jugs on this character. Look at that chest right there.
That's
a lot of
that's
dimple.
gotta be Celestine.
Is it though? But she
Who do
has
we think it
claws.
is?
There's claws there.
Are those claws?
I think.
I'm going Celestine. It's got
Celestine?
wings.
Okay. Seth
What
can't look past the jugs.
Wings, John.
Well,
wings.
what do you think that is?
That was Sanguinius.
That's what Jump In Bishop wants to let you know that he's going to put this on his fridge to make his nephew happy.
Oh,
Uh,
because
Oh.
Bishop's a good guy.
yeah. Yeah,
Thanks,
very good guy.
Good guy, Bishop.
Bishop, stop funding their poor hobby choices.
Well, this is the last time you're invited on now. But that model is actually, if we go down to the next slide, that is actually Corvus Corax.
Oh,
Oh.
Corvus. Okay.
Damn.
Oh.
Quality one.
Oh, I might have been watching football when you gave the context for these guys.
Mhm.
What is this from exactly? Like who's doing
Reddit,
this?
someone makes aluminum foil or
Wait,
aluminum
do we have to explain to
foil.
Val what Reddit is?
Yeah, but he makes statues out
It's
of
where I
things
talk
for
about
very
you,
different
Seth.
fandoms.
Oh yeah, I mean,
All right. Well, okay. And
Okay,
is
so-
it ironic or unironic?
I think it's unironic, but we'll move on to this next
I
one here. This
I
one's
don't want to.
can we challenge you two to make your own foil sculpts for
Oh,
next
wow.
week?
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
can try.
maybe
Full
price of foil
Warhammer
nowadays.
or Warhammer
It can be
origami.
old world for
origami.
you, Val.
Whoa.
That's fine.
I mean, I guess so. Yeah, we can do that. If
Yeah,
we
you do that.
remember, we'll do that. That's a good one, Seth. You can
Yep.
judge who wins. The next one
No,
here.
I'm not coming back next week.
The next one is a little bit easier for you guys.
Oh, that's easy.
That's Seth.
Yeah, I mean, the hat, the glasses, it's all there.
That's his Halloween costume. The angel wings.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Val,
does
do
he
you
have
know who
more
this
than
is?
one eye?
Depends when
It's hard
about
to
you're
tell.
asking.
Depends on what angle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also when.
Well, it's got to be Magnus.
Yeah, baby.
That is Magnus. Beautiful man.
God.
And that actually made me appreciate it a lot more. Was the
Remember when that
Magnus
model
one.
happened, guys? Do you remember? Do you guys
When they
remember when
pulled it
that
out of the
when that
trash?
happened? Like no,
Oh,
but
when
just
they-
like when
Was a big
Magnus
deal.
Magnus came, like it was a big deal. Like the world
I s-
kind of stopped.
I found out on Fiat 212.
Oh,
That they
wow.
found it in a trash can. That's
Yeah, they
dating
did find
myself.
it in a
Yeah.
trash can.
Yeah.
And it was my boy Rob Symes in that trash can, if I do recall correctly.
Yeah.
So that's why he
I
left.
can't remember if he opened the trash
That's
can
what
or if he was in the trash can. It's been a while.
Well,
Is
I
Fate
think
212 still an
prospectively-
active website.
It is.
They haven't posted since May.
I remember there was a guy locally who was boasting because his model got picked to be on Fiat 212's like Army of the Week or Model of the Week. And he's like, yeah, you got to be pretty good. And so I purposely just sent a random
Holy
one
crap.
in and I was
Break-
like, hey, anyone can get on here, Dick.
Yo, Seth just broke some news. Fate 212 is dead. It's posted since May.
Oh,
To be clear, I
rip.
did not kill it. I did not kill it.
Let's see how they did with their old world rumors here. Warhammer the old world be just like Epic, a small release. We get a launch box, rulebook, compendium. Yeah, I don't know.
Are we
Terrible
changing
rumor.
the segment to judging the accuracy of Fate 212 rumors?
Well,
that's
I mean,
fair.
yeah, I mean, we'd have, like normally you'd have to scroll a long time to check the veracity of any of the rumors, but
No, apparently
now.
just stop posting. It makes it way easier. Hey, let's move on to a special edition of our favorite thing,
yeah,
Dickie.
I think that's your cue, Dickie.
Oh.
wow.
Hey, tonight on a special Atlanta edition of the eBay Price is Right, we are looking for the next great Warhammer price predictor. Our contestants will be bidding on a series of Warhammer items recently sold on eBay within 25 miles of downtown Atlanta. Will they guess the final auction price and win prizes? The stakes will be high as we see who knows their Warhammer and who's heading home 0-4-1. Let the bidding begin on this
call
very
that
special
the Hellstorm Special.
eBay Price is Right. Our first contestant, hailing from the deep south, he is a professor of birdery in his final year of professing. He might be able to heal your wing, but can he guess this thing? It's Seth
Ooh.
Oster.
Oh wow,
Hey.
I'm
good
impressed with
stuff.
the rhyme. I
That
like
was
I actually
nice.
made that up in the spot
Although I
because
am kind of concerned. You said final year of professing. Do you know something I don't? Do you have a
Budget cuts,
performance
buddy.
review
I'm
I
so
don't have
sorry.
access to yet.
budget cuts. I'm so sorry. You've seen the 24-25 budget. But no, I forgot to update that part. So I had to do that on the fly. And his opponent from the frozen, forgotten, hellish wastelands of Northern Canada, Toronto. He can secure your future for a fee, but can he guess how much you spent on eBay? It's Val Heffelfinger.
It's me,
It is.
still here.
Unfair. And then just Seth, so you know, we did add this rule to eBay prices, right? It's the Val Heffelfinger amendment. Hands where we can see them, so we know you're not Googling the price.
I don't cheat at eBay prices right. All right. I only
That's
cheat at
fair.
games that are unwinnable and weird.
All right.
That's fair. That is fair. Our first item up here is a 40k Warhammer Adeptus Custodes Trajan Valoris model with what looks to me like no head.
I'd say a pretty heavy.
Seems to be
price
headless.
as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Seth, as our guest, how much did someone pay on November 18th for a headless Trajan Valoran?
Are we saying how much it was ultimately?
Yeah, this is
sold
all
for?
things that have sold within 25 miles of the downtown Atlanta zip code, which is 30303.
Right, Price is Right rules.
Yeah.
$55.
Is Trajan
All right.
retail for $55?
I know how much I'm selling my model or who I'm selling my
$1.
models to.
$1.
That is a very smart call. $26.
$26.
Where was that
Yeah.
price right there?
All right,
And I
all
just want to point out that covering our prices this week is a random PNG image of a actress from The Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
Welcome to the show.
yeah. I don't know who it is. If someone wants to let me know, she looks sassy, and she looks like she's not going to take no junk.
She looks sassy.
Moving on. We have a returning favorite, our Space Wolves Iron Priest Joran Fellhammer 1/18th scale Warhammer 40k Joy Toy. It's not a sex toy, it's just a toy.
And this is inbox? Was this new?
Oh, that would be great to know, wouldn't it?
Or is
Well,
it-
that's key. That's key
Used.
information.
It is.
I don't even know what these
underneath-
retail for.
would you buy
underneath-
a used Joy toy?
Underneath
mean-
your head, it says brand. But other than that,
Oh, Cthulhu Industries, you dogs.
they have a 100% rating, sir, with 478 transactions.
So does old Val Hef. Okay. I don't know what they retail for. $100. Oh, that was bad.
$100.
That was a bad one. That was a bad.
Seth, would you like to guess $1?
No, I'm gonna go 125.
Whoa.
You're bad at this game.
Both
It was $57.
lost. Both lost. All right.
Both
Maintain.
lost.
He holds serve. He's holding serve. All right, let's go.
It's 1/18th scale. This thing is at least 8-9 inches at most.
What?
Yeah,
I don't
you
know
have
what
to
I don't know
stop
what an 18th scale is, dude.
Yeah, I don't have a frame of reference here. I have never met a Space Wolf Iron Priest Joran Fellhammer. In
This
real
is
life.
this is the action figure, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also,
yeah.
Bishop saying, "You're so good at guessing, Val. He guessed his way into his heart."
Bishop,
Oh,
come
God.
on, come on, you. Oh,
Next up, something close to Dickie's heart. It is the
Ooh.
World Eaters Army, Exalted of the Red Angel Box Commission.
oh shit. Okay, this is gonna be dumb.
So this is a sold out box of World Eaters. You can't buy it anywhere. You can't
Yeah,
even
you
buy it.
cannot
Seth,
buy this anywhere.
Seth, can we buy it from our friends at Frontline Gaming at 15%
No,
off everything?
I trust me. I tried to get.
Oh
some
man, yeah, it has
Yeah,
Angron, it
perfect.
has Berserkers, it has 8-bound. Oh my!
Mhm.
But Val, how much are you spending, or how much would someone spend on the World Eaters Army Exalted of the Red Angel Box Commission?
These are always insane. The ask on them is always nuts, and I don't know how nuts I want to go here.
You want to get nuts?
Come on, let's get nuts.
I will say, when I first found this, I didn't spot the word commission until about 30 seconds ago.
My gut said
so-
$1,000. My gut said
Okay.
$1,000.
Thousand.
Seth,
$1.
Oh,
hey, he learned how to play the game. It was $575.
My other
Wow.
gut said 500. Damn it.
oh,
For
that is
something
such
that
a
is-
good deal.
Pulls-
Absolutely Chinese, in the nicest possible way.
Well, no, the seller's 25 miles from 30303.
Oh, but
the
the
Chinese
models are-
would pay them a lot more.
The models are absolutely not legit if it's $575 for a commission paint job on all of those models, unless the commission paint job was done by my 4-year-old, in which case I am taking commissions.
I could recommend a few Warhammer Champs players to you.
I gotta keep him busy. There's at least 30 minutes when I have to pick him up from school and when I finish work.
It's your cryptid. It doesn't say pro painted, so I guess you're just getting what you get.
Crypt Shadow was. Well, I wasn't wildly off. Crypt Shadow knows what's going on here.
Yeah,
He was-
yeah.
He was giving some big guesses.
Like it doesn't say it's pro painted. Could you imagine spending $600 on this box and coming to just like house paint covered miniatures that are assembled wrong?
What would have this box been? Would have been like a $200 box?
Yeah, it was like 200 retail for the boxes.
230. Yeah.
Somewhere
So
in
like
that
that's
ballpark.
double retail for this box. Like that's not a bad price for commission, guys. Not bad.
It's not bad. What's a terrible model is this next guy here, which is an old show favorite. It is our silly 40K Calexis / Calidus Assassin
my God, no.
resin custom model. Someone made it into a 3D miniature and is selling it on eBay. The question is, how much did a pervert, and I don't use those words lightly, how much did a pervert buy this miniature for?
The taint.
John, did these come out of your purchase history?
Shut up. Maybe.
Okay.
But also, yes.
Sold November 15th. This guy's still anxiously awaiting the package to arrive.
It's been.
You're
Gotta get
served. You're served,
Waiting
Seth.
with bated breath.
He's got to get it by December
man.
1st, otherwise November was ruined.
Like, is it the print or is it the file?
It looks like
Great
print.
to know, wouldn't it?
Assassin resin custom model. So this is a
Custom
print.
model.
This is a print.
I'm gonna say they're
print.
being economical and I'm gonna go $20.
$20.
Good. That's good.
Some cheap pornography.
$21.
$21. I will say you're both wrong. 18. $18.
I'm less mad than if I had guessed 19. There would have been hell to pay.
Which good job, you guys, for now. I'm gonna say you're both gonna fail at this one. We're sitting at 1-1 right now, so we're heading for a classic draw.
We haven't had
good-
many draws. We haven't had many draws.
No, we haven't. But moving on to this last one here, we have our
palpable.
40K Necron Lord broken painted.
Ooh. Still use that.
Seth has to take the serve.
Yeah, I gotta
Mhm.
think. Like,
He's got his thinking face
look
on.
at
He's
the
stroking
basing.
the
The
goatee.
basing, I think, is just straight sand. Like,
Yep.
not painted. Just like I took some Elmer's glue, I slapped it on that base, I ran that through a pile of sand. The base rim has a sheen to
Mhm.
it, which makes me even think it's not even a GW base.
There's a couple of washes on there though. That
Yeah.
gold, that silver, that green is
I'm gonna
highlighted.
go $9.
Oh.
$9, $1.
$9.
No, not even $1. Sub $1. 50 cents.
50 cents.
$2.
I hit the cricket sound effect by wrong. Yeah, it was $2 for that.
Another
Out of
thrilling
place with the
edition
music.
of The Price is Redacted. Holy crap. I mean, my blood is pumping right now.
The thrill of victory.
That was.
That's the love of the game, Seth. It's the love of the game.
I feel the model is actually well painted. It's like
And that's why I went with 9.
it's blocked in.
I don't think it was an absurd guess because I mean people got Necron arms hanging around.
Yeah, I will say probably what hurts it is that every Necron player has 18,000 Lord models.
I will say that total with shipping, Seth nailed it.
$7 shipping, by the way. Crypt Shadow also sad that the $7 shipping. I will say that is because you have to wrap it up to make sure it doesn't break more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Otherwise,
I guess,
you know.
how would you report the damage? You'd be like, here's the picture of how much it was broken and it is now more broken.
It's extra broke.
It's beautiful. But yeah,
And
it's
then
really
like
good.
the seller's like, no, that was the selling point. It was broken. I broke it more for you.
But yeah, so yeah, that was our wonderful Atlanta WCW themed eBay prices right. Val,
Beautiful thing.
another beautiful victory for you on the cusp of a 50-cent guess. Your secret knowledge of knowing that literally every Necron player has 18 models of a Lord. I myself in my small collection have like 7, which is ridiculous. So good job on that, Seth. A valiant effort.
It's a
kind of
learning curve.
ruined by
It's
your
a learning
first
curve.
couple of guesses, not understanding the game. But by the end, you were almost there. And if this included shipping, oof, buddy, you would have still lost, but it would have been much closer.
Didn't he guess $9 on the number?
I did guess $9.
Yeah,
did,
it would
because
have been a walk-off homer.
He would have still lost based on the other guesses, but it would have been a closer result, is what I was saying.
You lost by 1 point. He would have swung it. He would have won if we included shipping. Give
And
the man
that's
his
why
due.
math is not my career, even though very sadly it sort of is.
I mean, I'll reluctantly give Seth his due.
There you go.
Very
That's all right.
reluctantly.
I'll do my research next time.
Beautiful. Yeah.
You
Seth,
don't know what kind of a world you got to live in. You got to be grinding them eBay trenches for every morsel of fantasy out of print bullshit you can find.
and this is why we can never do an old world edition of Price is Right, because Val just knows I tried to do that already. It doesn't work.
There's still a
Seth.
documentary about him in years about his mastery of the pricing system.
That's true. That was an excellent documentary that I said.
Seth, thank you so much for being voluntold to come in and help out in Danny's absence as he is traveling through the lower Midwest on his route to Thanksgiving, I think is a thing. Thanksgiving.
I've
Val,
got my pumpkin pie right here.
Ooh.
that's a plate.
Little pre-Thanksgiving pumpkin pie.
Yeah, there you go.
That's nice. That's nice.
My whipped
Val.
cream deflated though because I was on the show.
Val, you have a small event coming up this week.
Holy shit, guys! It's the Square Base GT. We got 30 people coming to play 8th edition Warhammer
It's
Fantasy Battles.
happening.
It's so sick. Dickie's going to be there.
Yep.
Rob Sapp's going to be there. Adam Camilleri going to be there.
Yep.
Luke Blaxell, the finest
Yeah.
Warhammer
I'm so
weirdo.
excited to meet Luke. I'm so
It's
excited.
gonna be something. We got Luca from Mini Wargaming playing.
No idea
Probably
who that
some
is.
more people. Like Matt Nergal Matthews gonna show up. He says he's not gonna play, which sucks, but it's fine. He can just pull a Seth and hang out awkwardly. Although we all know Nergal Matthew does not know how to hang out awkwardly. He is nothing but a good hang. So it's he's a bro. And no, man, it's so sick, and I'm so excited. And Peter the Falcon is our TO.
Yep.
I'm flying him in
I've heard
from
he's
the
been-
East Coast.
He's been
Just to be the
researching
TO.
rulings. I've been quizzing him.
He doesn't even need to. The guy could have just walked out, like just got off the bench and TO'd this thing, just based
Ask
on.
him. Make sure to ask him if it was Arnold's ripped off robot hand that didn't get melted, or if it was his skinned hand that got melted. The world has to know.
I've already looked up. It was a gloved fist, but it was
No.
beat up, so I can see how Seth was remembering what he remembered.
Beautiful. So yeah, check out. Is it streaming anywhere? Your Squarebase GT?
We had a preliminary agreement with Mountain Minis to stream it, but he apparently got overwhelmed and backed out. So, but we got Luca, and that's
problem.
That's so cool.
They're keeping it classic. They're keeping it old world in a time before streaming. So if you are not there,
We're gonna
you
have
are
to
not
update the
square.
blog post.
Yeah.
uh,
Oh yeah.
by
That'll happen.
WordPress.
To contradict you,
Coverage.
I think some of like the earliest like streams I've ever seen are actually fantasy streams. Like it's kind of funny, but yes,
What? Live
no
coverage on
stream.
Fire 212.
yeah, but that's actually why they haven't posted in a while. They've been preparing for this event.
Beautiful.
No, but we'll probably Rob and I will probably post up a tournament report of some kind on Square Based, and yeah, should be sick.
Yeah, so find Val and Rob every week on Squarebase. They're a brand new old world themed podcast / show.
Val's favorite show.
Val's favorite show that you can see Tuesdays on the Squarebase YouTube channel, and at some point when they get around to it on the podcast. Seth,
Podcast has been set up. I think when we push this week's episode, I assume it'll actually like every aggregator will get all of the episodes. I think it's just that we haven't. I finally went and actually like did all the Apple stuff. It took me 2 hours
it's ridiculous.
to get an Apple ID. Like
No
just
one
I
knows
had
the
to use
struggle.
5 different friggin' devices.
Mhm.
I should have just started with the iPad, but fuck,
It's true. You had to go buy a brand new
I
one.
downloaded
and then-
iTunes. I downloaded friggin' iTunes.
I used a desktop computer to do it, but you know, we're just different people.
Yes, I've used the desktop. I tried to do that too. Wouldn't accept it. So we can't complete your request right now. We can't set up a stupid fucking Apple ID.
No.
Come on, Apple.
Come on.
Seth,
Come on.
Apple troubles aside, if people want to see you in a non-ridiculous 40K setting, where can they find you?
Every Wednesday night live over at the Frontline Gaming YouTube channel doing Signals from the Frontline. Still doing it, even though Tech Priest left me.
You
and I'm
killed me
not
off
good-
officially. You
okay,
killed
well,
me off.
I killed you
Yeah.
after you left. But yeah, it's me and Kicker, and we have Tech Priest Nikki D.
Yeah.
Honestly, I haven't checked the notes. I don't know what we're doing this week.
Which is
Sounds
always
like
fun.
another just a regular week.
Yeah. Seth, as someone who knows you're in charge of those notes, I believe. Good job.
No, that's now Nikki D's job.
Oh, damn it. Well, off air, you're going to tell me how you can push notes off onto someone else. But thank you for jumping in last minute
No problem.
to help us out here so Danny can enjoy his time with his family. Of course, the other two members of the podcast, Canadian, so don't care as much, and I'm foreign and don't care at all. But thank you, everyone, for joining us here on Grim After Dark. You can find all of our socials and any way you want to support us at grimafterdark.com. Not you, Bishop. You've done a year's worth. We'll be back next Monday, live at 10 p.m. Eastern-ish. And if you enjoyed yourself, check out our back catalog on YouTube. Please stop commenting on the Terminator short. We'll just make more. Remember, when your life feels like a never-ending siege and things can't get any worse, join us here and remember that it's always Grim After Dark.
It's time to step into the grim darkness with nerds gather talking Warhammer madness. Grim After Dark, the podcast with the hosts John, Danny, and Val, but they're not the most. Claiming to be experts, but it's all a facade. Talking about battles and dice rolls, they're all odd. Trying to sound cool with their Warhammer talk, but I'm here to expose it's all just squawk. Nerds, everywhere I see talking Warhammer this, like it's a decree. But let me tell you, homie, it is all just a game. In the real world, homie, we are not the same. So put down the dice, step out of the dark. It's time to live life, nerd, make your own mark. Grim After Dark, the nerds playground. Talking Warhammer this, acting all profound. But when I listen, it's all just a bunch of noise. I love roasting nerds and their stupid ass toys. Stupid ass toys, I wanna grab them, put my hands around the neck, squeeze, Warhammer squeeze, until they can't breathe again. Tell a friend, I'm out here roasting nerds again.